Welcome back to the Badass Women of World War II. I'm Lydia, and today in episode 9, we're talking about Cornelia Fort. Cornelia Clark Fort was born February 5th, 1919, in Nashville, Tennessee, to a wealthy and prominent Nashville family. She was probably more than expected to follow in that lifestyle, but when she took her first flying lesson in 1940, she was addicted. Within a year, she became the first female instructor in Nashville, and she soon took a job in Fort Collins, Colorado. In the fall of 1941, she accepted a new job offer as a flight instructor in Honolulu. On the morning of December 7th, 1941, Cornelia was up early, teaching a flying lesson. While in the air, a fighter plane flew directly at them. At the last second, Cornelia took over controls and avoided a mid-air collision. This was no American aircraft. In the distance, she saw smoke rising from Pearl Harbor. She immediately landed. On the tarmac, she and her student ran for the hangar, both of them narrowly missed by strafing from enemy aircraft. When she burst into the hangar and announced that Pearl Harbor was under attack, she was met with laughter. It wasn't until a mechanic ran in and said that another instructor had been killed that the reality of the situation sank in. America had just been dragged into the war. The next month, Cornelia received a telegram from none other than the Jackie Cochran asking her to join the Royal Air Force Air Transport Auxiliary in Britain. Cornelia couldn't accept because she was still stranded in Hawaii, but she did accept the second telegram. In that telegram, she was invited to join the ferrying division of the Air Transport Command. If she was interested, she was to report to Wilmington, Delaware within 24 hours. Cornelia was the second woman to arrive and apply for the job. She joined Dorothy Fulton Slynn from episode 6 and Catherine Rawls from episode 7 as one of the originals who made up the very first squadron of WAFs. Cornelia only flew for her country for a few brief months. On March 21st, 1943, Cornelia was assigned to ferry BT-13s to Texas, along with a number of other pilots, both male and female. During that mission, Cornelia's plane and another collided, the landing gear of the other plane clipping her wing. The collision sent her plummeting, with no time to parachute to safety. She was only 24 years old. She was the first death among the ranks of female pilots, and she was also the first female pilot in American history to die on active duty. In a letter home to Cornelia's mother, Nancy Love wrote, "My feeling about the loss of Cornelia is hard to put into words. I can only say that I miss her terribly and loved her. If there can be any comforting thought, it is that she died as she wanted to, in an Army airplane and in the service of her country." An air park built in 1945 near Cornelia's home was named after her. A historical marker there bears her own words. "I am grateful that my one talent, flying, was useful to my country." In a letter to her mother, Cornelia once wrote, "If I die violently, who can say it was before my time? I was happiest in the sky at dawn, when the quietness of the air was like a caress, when the noon sun beat down, and at dusk when the sky was drenched with the fading light. Think of me there and remember me, I hope, as I shall you. Love, Cornelia."